Morning, this is Troy from the wet, snowy, do-it-yourself world and the off-grid project. We got about 3 inches of snow last night on top of what we already had, but it's diminishing in volume because it's raining now, freezing rain. The rain is supposed to turn to sleet later today, and then we're supposed to get even more snow and more freezing rain, up to an inch more accumulation of ice, they're saying, on top of the snow. The Homestead is blanketed pretty much under a pure white coating, and I am stranded at the off-grid Homestead. I am absolutely stranded. You will notice there is no truck here at the Homestead. My truck is broke down. Yesterday, while going to church, there was a sudden horrible metallic grinding noise, and the truck coasted to a halt. The engine was running smooth and fine, but when I put it in gear, there was a horrible metal grinding noise. Really horrible sound. And the vehicle would not move. In park and in neutral, the grinding noise was gone, but the engine was sort of shuddering a little. It wasn't missing, it was just sort of like off balance. Something was off balance and shaking. And when I shut off the engine and went to restart the truck, the starter spun freely and had nothing to engage to. Now, without laying down in the snow and slap on the side of the road, I couldn't get under there and see why. But I'm hoping it's just the torque converter blew up on me, and hopefully there's no transmission damage and nothing serious, because the truck is a valuable resource here at the off-grid home site. I was hoping to move my forklift battery over to the house today with the truck, so losing the truck is really bad for multiple reasons, but I was using it heavily out here and now it's gone. It's a valuable tool. I don't know what it'll cost. Fortunately, it broke down only a few hundred feet from a mechanic shop, so I called them this morning and had them tow it in. Nobody will drive in this weather. Nobody that I know of. So I can't get help to get out of here. So I'm sort of stuck. The car is still not working because I can't find the leak. These newer vehicles with all the plastic shrouds and coverings everywhere, I don't want to take apart the entire top end of the engine just to look for an antifreeze leak, especially in this cold weather. So, but now I don't have a choice, because now the car is the only vehicle I have here that actually starts and moves. So I'm gonna, if the rain stops today, I'm going to troubleshoot the car a little bit, and I'll have to fill up the antifreeze and get the engine running and warmed up and try my hardest to see where it's coming out. The problem is, these new vehicles, you can't get your fingers in beside the engine, so how are you supposed to see anything? That's why it's best to put it up on a lift so you can see from below. I don't have that convenience out here. So I'm sort of stuck. I have a lot of projects to do, but I was hoping to get my water tanks installed. I can wash them today because it's raining finally. Rain is good. I will give them a good wipe down and then bring them inside the tiny house. I've been waiting for the freeze to go away so I can wash them, because they were sort of dirty on the outside. So I'll do that today in the rain. That's convenient. Bring them inside. And then I gotta see if I can get that car figure out what's leaking. I'm hoping it's just a hose. I'm hoping I can find it. But as I said, I couldn't see anything before the last few times I drove it, so yeah, that's life out in the country. Things happen. Wintertime causes mechanical breakdowns and failures, stress on vehicles. It's more wear and tear. I went out and I swept a couple inches of snow off the solar panels this morning already, and I'm pulling in a couple watts. Let's go over and see what I'm pulling in right now. from the solar panels. Now again, this is the old tired forklift battery bank. I'm pulling in 7 watts. And it is 10 o'clock in the morning, precisely. I'm pulling in 7 watts and I've got 12.5 volts on the forklift batteries. Now that's with no load. There has been no load and no drain on this all night except for the tiny little composting toilet fan, which takes, I think, 0.02 amps or something like that. It was something like negligent. It wasn't even, I don't even calculate it in. It was so minimal. But beyond that, there was no drain on the batteries at all. So, well, that's good. I did put the desulfator on the batteries yesterday. It was Sunday, so I did not grab the camera, but I did, after church, go out and put the desulfator on the batteries, so it's happily blinking away and doing what it does on the old forklift battery bank. Way out beyond the RV, all my old barnwood out there, I've been selling it. I sold well over $100 in barnwood in the last 2 days. The guy came yesterday while I was at church and left some money behind. How nice is that? So I've got, what was it, $115 I've got so far for selling some old barnwood. So that's turning out to be profitable, and he wants to get some more in the future. He's making some furniture, so that's really good. I want to get out there later on if I get a chance out there and start pulling out some of the siding and finish my upstairs in the tiny house on wheels. But winter makes it awkward to deal with wood that's outdoors, especially if you don't have a real shelter to put it into to dry before you use it. So that slows me down here working on the house, on the tiny house. Well, I did go out yesterday, although it was Sunday. I did go and I cut a wagon full of firewood. I have enough for a couple days. I knew it was going to snow, so I cut up a bunch and put it in the wagon and covered it. So I'll be alright for firewood. Well, here we are, snowing at the off-grid homestead. Even the chickens aren't outside right now. They're hiding in their shelters. Well, let's go see what the chickens will give me for breakfast today. It's hit or miss here at the off-grid homestead and the wintry weather. It looks like the little birdies are enjoying the chicken food. Oh, I'm zoomed. Sorry about that. Little Tweety birds are enjoying the chicken food. They are braving the sloppy cold weather. But the chickens are not. The little Tweety birds are not even wanting to fly away from me. They're too interested in food. Looks like dinosaur tracks. There have been dinosaurs walking here in my property. Well, there's no lack of drink for the birds. That's a good thing. It's knocking down my hawk lines, this sloppy weather. It's making a mess of my hawk lines. Oh yeah, look, that's freezing. Freezing rain. There's going to be down trees, power outages for people. That's an advantage of being off the grid. See, that's ice on the lines. It's destroying my hawk lines. See that? That's ice. So that's devastating. All my hawk lines are falling down and collapsing on me. And it's devastating to property. Oh, it's heavy. The snow load. Oh boy. See if I can knock it off. Well, we've got breakfast. 1 egg so far. These two stay in here. They're not even just going to get out of the way. Oh, bad news. Bad news. They have started eating eggs. That's not good at all. See, this gives you an idea. of the continuous work at the off-grid homestead. I'm constantly reducing the snow load on things, constantly cleaning the solar panels, constantly caring for the chickens, always watering things, always repairing downed hawk lines. Heavy stuff. Wet, heavy stuff. Let me see if I get a bantam egg. No bantam eggs today. Alright. That's it. One egg today. Well, at least I won't starve. I get an egg. The birds are hanging out underneath that chicken coop. Staying dry. Well, I got an egg today. I will have breakfast. And meanwhile, the little birds feast on the chicken food. It's so sloppy, even the chickens don't want to be out today. The freezing rain is coating my netting, my webbing, and it's sagging down and collapsing all over the place. You can see the white color of it. I hope I don't wreck my camera being out here in the rain. It's absolutely making a mess of things. Sagging all my netting. That'll be some repair work later on. Now let me get this camera inside out of the freezing rain. Look at that. It's pretty, but at the same time destructive. I don't know if you can see. It's all white from the ice and snow on it. There's a healthy homestead breakfast. Fresh eggs. Well, one of them was fresh this morning. And some fresh broccoli and some cheese. Cheese ends from the deli. It's always a surprise mystery cheese, whatever I get from the deli. And there's my fresh country homestead breakfast. Put a lid on that. Turn the burner on really low. I could cook this on the wood stove as well, but right now I just popped it on here because it's 33 degrees outside, and I got the wood stove damped down pretty low, so it's not putting out a lot of heat. So in about 10 minutes I'll have a very nice fresh country omelet. Well, it's 32 degrees still, 4:30 in the afternoon. I didn't use my camera much today because it was so, well, it was rainy. My camera is still wet from earlier when I tried to use it, showing some snow fleas. So anyway, I'll just give you a summary of what I did out here in the rain and breaks on and off. I worked on the wind turbine tower a little bit, putting some more screws in there. I had gone with Chris the other day to get washers so I can more securely bolt that together. And as much as I could, I can't, maybe you can, but I can't work with gloves on with nuts and bolts. So I would work on that a little bit here and there as I could, and it was freezing rain, so I would work until my hands were numb and then come in and take a break and go back out and put a few more nuts and bolts. Wasn't able to do a lot, but I worked on it a little bit here and there. And while I was at Harbor Freight last night with my friends, I got a cord, what do you call it, a Harbor Freight adapter. This allows you to hook up multiple solar panels to one adapter and have one central wire coming out. I plan on, because we have so many cloudy days, I plan on running this over and connecting it up to the battery bank, which I have here underneath all the tarp and junk covered up and protect it from the weather. But the clamps that I have, the clip-on ends, won't fit. It's not wide enough to fit that battery bank, the forklift battery bank. So I couldn't get it on there as I had wished. So I'm inside looking for something that I can use to connect those solar panels. Now, since they're low wattage, that'll only be 100 watts total. I'm going to connect them directly to the forklift batteries, and that won't hurt a thing. They'll just connect right on there, and that'll be fine, I'm sure. I'm continuously knocking snow and ice off everything. I'm going to hook these up as well to a solar panel. I want to connect them together and hook them up to a solar panel, and probably run that desulfator on them a little bit. These are, somebody suggested they are probably AGM batteries, which I wouldn't be surprised at all. And they're still good, but they were getting sulfated and lowering, they were becoming reduced in capacity. So they're probably badly sulfated. I mean, they're ancient. I bought them for scrap a few years ago at the metal scrapyard. It was amazing they lasted like this long. So I'll desulfate them as well one day. Yeah, that sums up what I was doing out here, just running around trying to rewire some stuff and improve solar. Like I said, sorry I couldn't run the camera. It was just raining non-stop all day. I am really worried because there's slop here, and it's going to freeze, and then it's going to be cold the next few days, so it's going to be a mess. I'm not really happy about that. And the poor chickens. It's been a wet day. I gave them some broccoli scraps, which they're enjoying. They get the broccoli ends, and they like it. A little bit of greens for the birds. They love that. I eat a lot of broccoli out here, and give the birds the scraps. Yeah, birds, how you doing? Everybody doing all right? Silky's looking yellow. That's weird. Silky's yellow. It's supposed to be a white bird. I don't know what that bird got into. But they're doing all right. The chickens are all doing all right. Their combs are getting frozen. You can see some frostbite on the combs. But I have found, now I've heard stuff like putting Vaseline on your chickens. The birds like this with the combs, they will get frostbite. And I have heard that you can put Vaseline on them. But my roosters from last year, now I wasn't home last year. I was in Australia, and the two big reds who were in hiding, their combs got frostbite and fell off then in the spring and regrew. Completely, absolutely regrew. So I'm thinking that these guys should all be all right. Hopefully they'll be fine. And we'll see. They probably will regrow next year, just like the big reds did. Big reds filled out beautifully this year. Healthy big birds. The two brothers. Well, it's coming to a close of what I can do out here. Sorry again for not recording everything. It's awkward when it's raining. At least I got some work done today. You will notice the truck is still missing. It's been hauled off to the mechanics. I have not had a chance to get anybody to go to take me in to get the keys there because nobody wanted to drive in this stuff today. I can't really blame anybody. I mean, it looks bad until you get out to the road. I was out to the road about what is the road? Almost a mile away. Anyways, I was out there checking things out today. And it's not, the roads are good, but tonight it's going to get treacherous. So I've got to get a ride and get it out there and get my keys dropped off to the mechanics. It's 20 minutes one way to have them check out that truck. You'll notice something different in this view if you pay attention. The fiberglass tanks are gone. I have taken advantage of the sloppy rain and washed my tanks. So now they're sitting up here to sort of, well, in an attempt to dry them off. And hopefully, tomorrow's supposed to be sunny. Hopefully the sun will, it's going to be 26 degrees and sunny, but hopefully the sun will be warm enough to cause them to drip dry, or, evaporate the water off. And then I can take them inside the tiny house and set them up where they're going to live. And next time I do make it into town, I'm going to get the fittings for that. And soon after, I'll have running water inside the tiny house on wheels. Well, I got the Harbor Freight generator running and the battery charger on there. I want to show you my new LED light I got in the mail. Look at this. Wow. That's my camera LED light. Now, no more videos in the dark. Now we can see what's going on here at the Off-Grid Project. 13.1 volts. Look at that. Isn't that nice? This light is good. Really good LED light. Attached right onto my camera. All I gotta do is run around and flip the light. Look at that. I can look in the bathroom. Look at that. Bright as day. I'm working on wiring in here. And I want to try to hook up some of these. These are some Harbor Freight lights that I've got. And it came with a one solar panel kit that I was going to review, but I never did because the battery pack was defective. And I went and got another kit, and its battery pack was defective. So they was on mega cheap, dirt cheap clearance, and the solar panel alone and the lights were worth it, so I kept it. And I never did the review. So here's a light that I've never told you about that I want to try to hook up in the bathroom. And I'll be trying to run some more DC wiring in the tiny house on wheels tonight. Look at that. Oh, I love that light. Well, thank you for sending that light. Look at that. No more videos in the dark at the Off-Grid Homestead. I like it.